Okay, so we'll start out with everything Microsoft announced.
All right.
Because
They announced the most by far of any of the conferences.
I think they were first, right?
Yeah, they were first.
All right, so Microsoft.
They started off the Electronic 3.
Microsoft at the Electronic 3.
Phil Spencer came out.
At eCubed, they announced the Gears 5. And I believe, well, one, we've literally just dropped of War.
Yes.
Right?
I think, was 4 like that?
Gears 4?
Was Gears just called Gears 4?
Let's wait for the chat to tell us.
Let's look at that. Oh yeah, EA also was there too, by the way, and they showed the Star Wars game, and it looks fine.
Gears 4 was the kids, right?
Yeah, it's the combat kids.
Gears of 4.
Yeah, Gears 4.
Anyway.
Regardless, it's Gears 5 now. The combat kids continue. There's more Gears. This franchise, Gears 4 is pretty bad. So this game is like, a lot of people are like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the general gist that I've taken away from this.
But crossover tie-ins
with Funko Pops.
Well, I thought it was with the Terminator.
Oh, that too. Hey, Woolie, guess what had crossovers with Terminator?
Everything?
Everything.
So they're
really pushing that movie.
Well, that's what... So this is where, like, crossovers start to become a little bit naked.
Yes.
And show a little bit of what they actually are.
Yes.
And you don't want that, right? You want a crossover to be, this is a cool thing the game decided it should have for your excitement, as opposed to, this is a marketing push.
So let me take a really blunt example. Let's just say we're big-ass Justin Bieber fans. We're Bieber crazy maniacs. And we're like, oh, wow. Hey, is Justin using, like, a new Nokia? Oh, man, he must really like that phone. But then you find out the only reason that music video got created was for that 2-second shot where he's using the new Nokia phone.
Is he using it to challenge Tom Cruise to a UFC fight?
He might. And then you're like, oh, I was fooled by brands.
Begone, brand.
Silence, brand. And those crab lasers.
Yeah.
And some of the brands are making their own crab laser memes in response.
Certainly are.
Which is not allowed.
That's not
allowed.
the way. That's not the intention.
But this is absolutely like, hello, fellow kids. We are the Terminator.
Yeah. When you start to see the crossover happening in multiple things at once,
it's like, come on.
It starts to be very, very transparent that somewhere someone is trying to push, and they're pushing the current movie thing, and the current movie thing is going to tie in at some point. Because if you start getting, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. It's so, like, I think they showed off, like, it's gonna be like, oh, T2 Arnie, right? And then, like, T100,
yeah,
and the other thing. But when you start seeing, like, content from the upcoming movie, it
like,
starts to get even more naked, because like, we haven't seen that yet. We don't know if it sucks. Why would you do that? So anyway, but it's not always the case, because, yeah, when 2B and The Witcher show up in Soul Calibur, you're like, well, they could have picked anybody, right? Those games are already out.
I feel like fighting games are different, because fighting games pick, like, fucking crazy crowd favorite picks no matter what.
That's not true.
Oh, Yoda. Yeah, you're right, Yoda.
Fucking...
You're right, Yoda.
Cole McGrath.
I forgot that character exists. Well, that was Cross Tekken, though. That's not fair.
But like that, you know, Cole McGrath shows up to the fighting game because we got things to sell. You know, sometimes it's a little more naked than others.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, that's the Gears 4, and that's what's going on. And then, you know what? I want to say that, like,
it's Gears 5.
Excuse me. And I want to say that, like, there might be other blatant examples that we could spend some time thinking about, where it's like, which guest character in a thing was, like, overtly just there to market their thing and not there because it was an interesting
everybody in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Like, almost every single character.
Raiden?
Revengeance had, like, just
What
come
was the
out.
time difference on that?
Remember, DMC Devil May Cry and Revengeance came out on the same fucking day.
Yeah. Negan...
No, they didn't.
Negan's going to be a sore thumb for a while.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how funny he is to use.
Yeah. Can't wait for fucking Jon Snow in your local fighting game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, God bless the fact that like Bamco makes Tekken so good.
Yeah.
That in the end you're going to have a fun character no matter what. Yeah. But
I mean,
all of those guests
in Tekken is supposed to be that for Cross Tekken, but
yeah, I understood what you tried to say there.
You know what I'm saying.
All of the guests that are in Tekken have been given the utmost respect more than any other franchise. It's fantastic. But yeah, Jon Snow for Soul Calibur, I'll take it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want it.
I don't want to win,
but I'll take it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Speaking of which.
This is a bummer because usually I'm not the type of guy to be like, I'm so pissed off this got leaked. But when Elden Ring showed up,
the way the slow name bleeded in.
Not even that. It's Elden Ring like had a CG trailer, and we got the name and we got some visual details about from the CG trailer, and that's it.
No, I disagree with you. Here's why. I never expected a Miyazaki game to come in with some gameplay like hard right off the bat, right? I was expecting this to be a logo and a zoomed in weird thing. Shadows die twice.
So you got even like
the fact that we even saw characters and art design was more than I expected.
So what is actually shocking to me is that when they pan to like guys in armor, I'm like, oh, that's Dark Souls. That's just Dark Souls. It's a weird Dark Souls, but it's Dark Souls.
It's very, very yeah. There's a helmet that looks like what's his name?
Dark Souls man. There's
a goddamn
people are putting robot arms on.
I forgot the character's name. But
yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, and then there's moments of just like clear visual like Souls boss type things happening, right? Someone gets stabbed with a spear.
Yeah,
and
there's like a
person,
maiden with a hidden face.
There's a fucking
there's a guy with a big old meat cleaver, just like usual.
The goddamn king, forgotten king, nameless king.
But it's red now.
Hair, mane.
His hair's red now.
Yeah, there's an Ornstein looking spear motherfucker stabbing a giant thing. You're looking at what might just be Miyazaki's unwilling return to Souls because George R.R. Martin stepped in.
It kind of.
He's like, I'm done with this, and George is like, nah,
man.
And he's like,
remember when Gact kept asking for new video games?
Remember when Tolkien forced the hand of whatever whoever he tied up? I don't know. Anyway, cause it's wild to think.
That really went.
It went nowhere.
Place.
I was gonna say Miyazaki again, but I'm like, no, he's the modern day Tolkien that's alive. I guess that's the version.
Well, you should have said Leonard Nimoy.
Well,
remember when he made Leonard Nimoy sing and dance in that
Bilbo,
Hobbit thing?
Yeah.
Greatest little Hobbit of them all.
Well, sometimes
thanks, Mr. Nimoy.
That's what happens when you have a live stream. You don't get your chance to think your thoughts.
Man. I haven't been thinking thoughts in days.
The Elden Ring is a great name. It's a name that sounds like a Tolkien fanboy would give their franchise.
So what I'm going to look up right now is the word Elden and see if it's an existing word.
And FromSoft went to him. I believe that. I definitely believe that. But it did definitely sound like Miyazaki was like, yeah, we're done with the Souls thing, right? And then they're like, well, not if
okay,
a big enough name gets involved.
So the etymology is from eld, the Middle English Elden. It means to age or grow older. So it's the old ring.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, it's a word. I didn't know it was a word.
Okay, yeah, that's a word. It's kind of like elder.
Yeah.
Except it's elder.
This looks like a fucking synonym for Dark Soul. Like
or the One Ring.
Yeah, like
quite frankly.
Yeah.
I get that more than anything. But whatever the case may be, I'm happy that we got to see some visuals of characters actually doing things, because I really thought it was just going to be a fucking logo.
That Sekiro thing really did make us all nervous that we were going to get like next to nothing.
Yes, it did. Because if you think about Beast Souls, right? That was
awesome.
It was. And you got a setting, and you got this, and you got that, and you're like, oh my god, we're going full-on Victorian, and blah-da-da. yay, you know?
Blood and shit.
But now we're back to the knights, but I was just, I really thought it was just going to be a name. So I'm like,
But
cool.
they're going to be weird knights with arms.
Or maybe the camera will be further away.
People are the suspicion that came with the leak is that it is more open world than the other games. There's like a vaster kind of game.
Okay, so it's same game, but the environment is the difference. Sure. Should have been called A Song of Souls, though.
Yeah, that's too...
No, it's a new property.
That's probably actually too on the nose.
It's a new property. It's literally...
I bet there's like 10 lawyers out there right now who are going... at hearing that.
The problem with George in getting involved with a new property is that he's definitely going to want tomes of backstory.
Yeah.
To get to the current time.
Great developer to team up with, then. Because he's got plenty of little paragraphs that he has to write.
And how much time does he have?
Do you remember when Valve wanted to make a TV show for Adult Swim based on TF2?
No.
And, yeah, they did. And then they were over a year late with their pitch. Was it Adult Swim or was it Netflix? Regardless, the TV studio told them to go fuck themselves. Because they were over a year late providing their pitch.
I didn't know they wanted to do that. I think that's probably for the best because their little animated shorts are probably the best way to present the TF2 world.
But I think about this, and it's like, From Software's the kind of studio where, George, if you don't write this, Hidetaka-san is going to go write it, and then Jimmy's going to translate it, and it's going to ship.
Yeah.
So fucking write it.
Written by George is going to eventually turn into, like, overseen by George. You know, and slowly that word will change.
Yeah.
To, like, George sat there. So, he has, yes, he has a fucking book to write. That's true. He has until that New Zealand convention.
Yeah. It's going to say written by Grimm, and then in the credits there'll be a little asterisk, and it'll say written by... great, really, really Miyazaki.
Or like, based on the idea over a couple of beers one time with Grimm.
Based on napkins taken out of Grimm's trash.
There you go. Specifically from the trash.
Yeah, not ones that he wrote stuff on and then gave out. Ones they poached from the trash and interpreted the chicken scratches.
Release date yet to be confirmed, but hey, guess those assumptions about the tie-in with the Xbox branded Xboxes.
Luckily enough, were
on Game
assumptions.
of Thrones were just bullshit. So
it's coming to the PC, the Xbox, and the PS4.
It's important when you make guesses about what things are to go back and point out when they were wrong.
That's correct. Unless you forget what the fuck you guessed.
Because just moving forward into the future, no one's going to correct you.
Yeah, no one will ever come back at you.
Dragon Ball Kakarot.
I don't know, man. Like the visually it looked gorgeous, but it was actually I don't know. It's unclear as to what how it works.
I liked the fact that at some point in the demo, when he's flying around the world, he goes and he talks to fucking Zombie 8er or whatever, the Android 8.
Yeah.
18. You know what I mean? It was like okay, so you're bringing in old Toriyama characters, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, we still are, unfortunately, doing the era that we've seen many times.
I'd also like to echo a sentiment by one Eli, Plague of Gripes. How many times can we watch this?
Yep. And I know...
It is... how many times does Goku have to turn Super Saiyan and fucking fight Frieza with the planet exploding? It's actually crazy.
I think you just have to you just have to kind of accept that it's this is the part that people care about.
Yeah, but
and people don't care about anything that happened before Raditz. So
no, I don't even mean that.
Let's just
I mean all of it. All of it is the part people care about.
Because
you know, do over and over.
Because here's the thing, right? So I recently, last time we talked about the Project Z Dragon Ball game, I remember talking about how I was like, man, I wish it'd revisit the old Dragon Ball stuff, right? And some people did rightfully point out that they're like, I think you're rose tinting your memory of like the older books, like not as much happens as you think. It's
Yeah,
not,
way less happens. I went back and looked,
and
like,
it's not as developed as you felt, and I think you're kind of just, and I'm like, I think you're right. Right? I believe that.
There's a hell of a lot of situations where
Yeah.
a guy shows up and then Goku like bops him one, and then the fucking episode's over.
Yeah, I know. I definitely do feel that it's like it's quite that makes a lot of sense. I could just be looking back at it and going like, man, I'm remembering that fondly because I haven't seen it in so long, right? And I
On
think
the other hand, I have seen Goku fight Frieza like actually 1,000 times.
so. I think it's just, even though it might actually be the same type of like world building as Z and Onward,
Yeah.
I just think the fact that we have never really gone back there anytime recently, it would just be refreshing to see it given this treatment.
Even if they sped through it.
Yeah, and I think that's worth it on its own. Even if it's not as big of a world, and even if even if I over exaggerated what I was saying, which I apologize for, I think the simply going back to see Yajirobe, going back to see Korin, going back to see fucking
I want to see
Tao Pai Pai.
I want to have a little moment where Goku sees Master Roshi do the first Kamehameha, and then he's like, I can do that, and they're like, shut up, and then he fucks up that car.
Yeah,
and
or
everyone's like, fuck, wow.
like asshole Yamcha who freaks out when titties pop out.
Oh, he does. It's not titties don't even have to pop out. Titties just have to be around.
Or fucking Launch.
Yeah.
Right? The entire
That'd make Eli happy.
Yeah. I think it would be really fun to just go do that for a bit, because we never get to do that. And that's a good enough reason almost, because it was fun, and
we've explored GT more often than we've explored Dragon Ball. And GT is so bad it's been removed from canon.
But is it now, I guess, like, is the counter argument from somebody who's in charge of this brand that, like, your Dragon Ball hipsterism is going to cost us money?
Yes.
Right.
The person who's in charge of this brand probably is, we've literally been selling the same thing for 15 fucking years, and they keep buying it.
It always works.
So why the fuck would you change it up? All we can do is lose money.
Why would we spend a lot of money? Because this is a very pretty looking game, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Is.
Why would we spend a lot of money on something they might not want? Right?
Yeah.
Because Blue Dragon came and went, and it's
sure
like,
did.
Man, I really think
that was supposed to kind of ape Dragon Quest more than anything.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all it is. I just think we haven't gone back there, and like I've never seen the old stories get like big budget treatment.
I want to see Jackie Chun.
Yeah, it would be really fun to just go revisit that side of things. And now that this world is full of side quests, and
wouldn't it be cool if there was a bit where like you fight King Piccolo and King Piccolo fucking breaks your legs and whoops your ass?
More importantly, a big open world like this lends itself to monsters of the day.
Yeah.
And
dinosaurs and
busy
shit.
work.
Yeah.
And then maybe at some point little baby kid Goku fights his proper chapter series, and then you get a little bit of a jump and he's a little bit taller.
Yeah,
and now he's got the Nimbus and he's got the staff.
Maybe he's a little bit taller.
Right? And then you get all the way up.
He was a baller.
Yeah, and then you get all the way up to fucking, the Piccolo arc.
Yeah.
And then fucking Junior, and then you call it a day. Right? Maybe. A Dragon Ball game with no Super Saiyans would be really refreshing, despite the fact that it's probably... Would it sell, though? Because people might actually like it.
Who cares? Dragon Ball's the infinite IP. Even if 10 of them don't sell in a row, it's still golden. Like a Super Saiyan. Ha.
Trying to think of any other franchises that have...
One Piece. You slap One Piece on anything, it'll sell.
That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of...
they just ignore parts of their story.
Where they ignore the early parts because there's a clear point. Like Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah!
Okay?
When are you ever going to get a JoJo Part 1 game? Fucking... Wait, does that exist?
Yes, it does.
Does it suck ass?
I hear it's not good.
Alright, then.
But it exists. And we got a Part 5 game. And there's no... And, like, the Stardust Crusaders game that came out for the SNES, whatever. Like, we eventually got, they got the Capcom Fighter and all that shit. But, like, they definitely did it, right? I think Persona... Yeah, Persona's one of those as well. 1 and 2. thoroughly ignored by us and everyone else.
It's been kind of thoroughly ignored for a while.
Yeah. That's there, right? There's a lot of franchises where like it's like after a certain cutoff point, it's like that's it. And you do have to think it would be interesting to do a revisit. You know,
I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah. All right, Crossfirex.
I forgot what this is. I'm serious.
Apparently, it is a first-person shooter that is an adaptation of one of Asia's most popular shooting games, Crossfire, coming to the Xbox One in 2020. Soldiers holding guns.
Okay, are they doing gun stuff?
Gun stuff. No, no gameplay.
All right, that's good.
Soldiers doing gun stuff.
Good job, Crossfirex. Moving on.
Blair Witch.
Looks cool. Looks like a really cool atmospheric Lost in the Woods horror game. I thought it was Outlast for most of the trailer. You have a dog.
I'm surprised that there has not been a Blair Witch game that was a bigger thing up until now.
I believe there was back one in the PS2 era, and it was a piece of shit.
Feels like a franchise that would have been exploited for horror games.
They tried to re-exploit it with a movie a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. OG Dragon Ball games exist. Advanced Adventure, Origins, and Origins 2.
Okay.
Great.
Well, those don't count because I didn't hear about them. So let's get into. Come on, let's get into them.
Budget. I want to see the love that Kakarot's getting put into that with the full-on beautiful CG and voice acting.
I want to play the rock that falls on his head and gives him brain damage so that he's not evil.
There you go, Grandpa Gohan. Don't forget.
Yeah.
He puts on a tail to fish though.
Yeah.
So, Blair Witch is Blair Witching.
Looks good. Pretty limited, but looks spooky.
Here's the thing: if it's Blair Witch, is there really going to be more than one enemy?
You can do anything.
I guess.
You're showing stuff off with like hallucinations and stuff. You can do literally anything you want.
Okay.
It's fine. Also, I don't think the Blair Witch is ever actually even seen in Blair Witch, so you're good.
Halo Infinite, in which sounds like we undo the big deal ending of Master Chief.
Master Chief can't leave, and they've had 2 games in a row where Master Chief leave.
Halo fans, are you excited for the return of Master Chief, or do you think it sucks that
we're calling him John Halo now?
John Halo. Or do you think it sucks that he can't have his rest? Let me know.
People are just saying yes. So good
okay.
To answer.
I was trying to. Yeah, I spoke too slow.
Yeah. I think John Halo's really funny because John Halo is being given more characterization by me calling him John Halo.
Right. I mean, he does come in the trailer, and then after waking up, because the new guy who's shorter than him wakes him up, he says, "No, we have to fight."
I think comparing Halo Man, John Halo Man Madden, is very interesting to compare him to Doom Guy, because Doom Guy can't fucking speak and is just overflowing with personality.
Yes. Didn't this franchise already have its Neros, though? In the form of
totally.
The ODSTs and the Reach people?
Yeah, no, it had it in Halo 4 where there were new Spartans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're not Master Chefs.
Right, so
they're not going to be able to cook up some Arby's.
So they tried, but it didn't stick? Is that kind of what we got?
Every single game that I can think of had another guy that hung out with Master Chef, John Halo, and was really cool. He was the really cool guy as well. And every game they're like, but Master Chef, though, you got to cook up the Covenant.
Okay, so if they ended up like just putting the camera
There's
on...
no Nero situation here.
If they ever put the camera on one of those other guys or whoever Spartans, it would have just been uninteresting to people.
I think people really love their John Halos.
Okay.
And that's weird to me because he's like a non-entity.
The only reason why I ask is because as an outsider, it sounded like John Halo dying was the right move from what fans
Yeah.
seemed to
It
express.
would have been real. In 3, it really felt like he was going to float off to John Halo Town.
And then you're like, mission accomplished. You did
Because
it.
it was about finishing the fight, and
Yeah.
John Halo could go to John's
Right,
sleep.
right. The whole marketing plan was finish the fight, finish the fight.
And now it's like there's more fight to finish.
And then the old man in the commercial was like, I'll never forget the thing John did for us.
That whole ad campaign with the diorama was one of the best things ever. None of that's in the game, and it's a bummer.
Right. But that's it, right? Like, the whole thing was basically like, God damn it, Master Chief was so cool. I'm an old man now thanks to him.
Yeah.
And his sacrifice, because he died,
Yeah.
and I got old after he died,
Yeah.
means that was the last important thing he ever did, right?
They just thought he died because he floated off into space and he was fine.
It was the last important thing he ever did because
but then he came back.
because then he did the last thing that he died,
No, don't worry about it.
and then I got old.
Don't worry
So in
about
between
it.
him dying and me getting
Hey,
old,
listen.
nothing else happened, right?
Listen.
He stayed dead the whole time, right?
Listen, Madden still comes out every year.
He didn't die. He went into cryosleep. Is that what it was? Oh.
Yeah, but people on Earth didn't know that. They thought he died.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But if people who are old in the future thought Master Chief died because he went to cryosleep and thus never came back to Earth, it's kind of weird that he comes back to Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, I imagine if they like actually showed him like getting impaled,
No, they're not. He
getting
can't,
shot up
no,
or something.
John Madden can't get killed by a single Halo.
Right. Okay. It would be too final to show that happening.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's too tough.
There needs to be plausible deniability.
Yeah.
In your hero death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is why you do that, though.
Is that why people in Kerbal Space Program say John Madden all the time in voice chat? Because he's the Halo man?
I don't know.
Okay, that's weird.
So by that you
There are
mean
Halo fans just like tearing their hair out for real listening to this.
so Master Chief is like, wow, that guy missed the double coverage.
I can't believe they threw the football into the Halo. That's a 10 points.
Now that QB fell back in the pocket, and he thought he had a play, but then he got sacked.
And that's why we call it a football.
This is Pat Summerall. That was a good analysis, John.
It's the only thing I know about football is that John Madden's a fucking terrible commentator. He's a commentator
The
for people
ball
like
gets
me.
passed to Deion Sanders, number 21.
Oh yeah, you guys are right. And tough acting, Tinactin. You're right. I do
Yeah.
remember that about John Madden.
I'm afraid of planes, so I'm gonna drive a bus all around America. Anyway,
So yeah, Halo Infinite.
check out my turkey. It's got 8 legs.
I don't like that.
You put extra.
I don't like what you just said.
They put extra legs on the turkey,
Fuck that.
and they give a leg to everyone who John invites
That's
after the game who
that's
deserves
fucking
it.
nightmare
Yeah,
shit. I don't like that at
was
all.
That was a big. Yeah, you're getting the turkey.
That's fucking awful.
Wow, that guy didn't see that coming.
Okay, we're spending too much time on these.
Halo Infinite, Minecraft Dungeons, Tales of Arise.
Tales of Arise looks like a pretty good JRPG. It looks very fancy.
Tales of a real word. I appreciate
Yeah.
Tales of a real word.
Hopefully, this is a good Tales and not a bad Tales. There seems
How
to be...
do we know?
So I'm personally really unfamiliar with Tales. I only played Tales of Destiny back in the day, and I tried Vesperia. I didn't care for it. But I'm well aware that people who are big fans of the Tales series say that there's basically good ones and bad ones.
Yes.
And it's like a coin flip.
Sometimes they render in 3D CG Western, and other times they render in 2D anime. Like,
So people are saying that the guy who ruined it are gone.
okay.
Or, wait, the guy who ruined it are gone. That's
Okay.
what I meant to say.
So yeah, I heard that literally in certain cases there was games where they couldn't choose between 2D Purity and 3D Pig Disgusting.
Yeah.
So they literally just rendered both.
You gotta get that 3D pick disgusting.
And there's 2 versions of the game you
need
can
that
buy.
sweaty slop.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you can watch your waifu in her horrible 3D form be all like realistic and shit.
I
Well, anyway, Tales of Arise. I mean, here's the thing, right? I imagine at some point. What?
You got me really bad with that. I don't know why. I was sitting there joking around the same type of shit. Ha, the 3D, and then there's something about seeing your waifu in her disgusting 3D form that I'm just like, you know what?
Those parts aren't there in 2D. You can't see them. It's only in 3D. They have to be rendered.
I hate it. I hate this.
Do you, yeah, I don't know. I think about, like, the fact that Symphonia back in the day had that 4-player mode and all that crazy co-op shit. And I don't know if the Telltale games have had a bunch of those since, but, I would
this
like
looks good.
it if the co-oping happened.
If it plays well, and it looks good, and the story's good, it'll be good. Here's open.
Yay tails.
Dying Light got shown off at multiple different shows, and it looked good at every single one. They had
Okay,
different
talk about Minecraft Dungeons.
Looks like Diablo, but Minecraft.
Minecraft, the camera zoomed out.
It looks like Diablo.
Hey, look at that. Hey, if you don't download Minecraft quickly, it'll be delisted forever.
Woolie, I can't take this constant negativity about I care about Minecraft.
If we don't download it quickly, it'll be gone forever.
Oh,
Minecraft Telltale is going to be...
can't.
Even if you own it, you won't be able to re-download it. We have to get it before it's gone.
Oh, jeez. And then we'll never be able to finish it.
I should really get on that.
We should get on that.
Dying Light 2, you were saying?
Looks good. They showed off multiple trailers at almost every show it was involved in. Dying Light 1 was a really good game that was shockingly good by the developers of Dead Island.
I like the parkour.
The parkour in that game is really good. Parkour in this game looks like it'll be better. It's a more interesting setting. It's got Chris Avellone writing it.
Are we watching? Did I just see people like having fun in a zombie setting?
Yeah, the whole world's kind of screwed up.
Wow.
It appears. So people got to have fun somehow.
I guess they do, huh?
Looks good. Dying Light 2 looks really good. It's not new, and we didn't really see anything new, but yeah, it's still coming. It still looks really good.
I like that they're showing off a whole lot of the parkour.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
It's a big part of that thing.
Yeah. So there's that.
And there's also Zambambos. And that's,
Are there other types, or are they all just walkers?
No, there's different types.
Are there parkour zombos?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the ones that run with you.
There's a distinction between all your classic zombie types. There's your walker, rawr, Mazombo. There's your viral or infected, which are your 28 days later, like rawr, I'm gonna get you. Then there's your big ass bosso zombos that have big sticks.
Yep.
And there might be a couple more, but there is at least the ones that come out at night that are basically Blade 2 vampire zombos that can run way faster than you, and you're basically not going to kill, period. So run your ass off. They do a really good thing in the first game where when you run away from those things, they, in a straight line, they will always, they're running at like 150% your movement speed, like something really a lot higher, but they don't climb as well as you do, and they don't jump as well as you do. So the only way to get away from them is to just constantly be hopping buildings and climbing over stuff.
Gotcha. Right, forcing the mechanic.
Yeah.
Smart. Then, of the two people that deserve to be protected...
There are three. There's a third one. We'll get there. There's a third one. I promise.
Okay. Well, the first one was goddamn John Wick himself.
Keanu Reeves was there. Mr. Real Life JoJo.
Well, first comes the actual Cyberpunk.
All right, Cyberpunk looks amazing.
By CD Projekt Red.
Am I an asshole for like kind of smirking?
It's CD Projekt Red.
No, it's not.
Pat, we heard it. It is officially CD Projekt Red.
Okay.
There is no other way to pronounce it.
All right.
So this trailer shows off that same Rick Ross-looking motherfucker.
This looks like the very beginning of the game.
From the last trailers we saw. All CG again, no gameplay, but...
Maybe? I don't know.
You know, it was all CG. It was all CG. Fuck off. But, yeah, we got to see more of this guy and his fucking low-level crime bullshit. And I liked it.
Yeah.
And
I liked all the robot.
And main character this time is, you know, different look from the last version we saw. But either way, fucking little scum rat doing his little shit crimes.
Yeah.
And then loses his shit buddy in the car.
I think this is the very beginning of the game. I think this is like the intro because it's pretty much identical to New Vegas. You do a job, the job goes bad, you get massively fucked up, cool guy pulls you out of the dumpster. Time to get revenge!
For a second in the car, the way he was acting, the main character, I was like, Jesse fucking Pinkman?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
Like, you expect him to lean out the window and go, cyborgs, bitch!
Bitch! Yeah. But anyway, so he gets the job done, but at what cost? And then he gets fucking it turned on him, and then tossed in the fucking dumpster. But then, hey,
oh my god, Keanu Reeves
goddamn
still
Cyber
looks good in
Reeves.
2077. So there's two ways you can go about it. The way they are going to do it, and the way they should do it. The way they're going to do it is Keanu Reeves is going to be cool Slate Man, or whatever his name will be, right? The way they
said he's got a city to burn.
The way they should do it is goes, hey man, I'm Keanu, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And then your character's like, wow, you look great.
Yeah.
You look the same you did like 60 years ago. And he's like, yeah, well, you know.
And then on the stage show, fucking fog machines, lights, camera action, out walks Keanu Reeves to talk about his cyborg thieves.
Yeah.
So Norman Reedus and his fetus, funky fetus.
This is
the new one.
Favorite E3 shill of all time.
This is a very fun one.
Because Keanu clearly
does not understand why he's
doesn't know
here.
what he's saying.
He doesn't know why he's here. He's like, this is not...
He knows that his agent got him a deal to be in a big fucking video game.
I read lines. I play roles. This is what I do.
But at the same time, he's totally having fun with it, and he's glad to be... He's genuinely happy to be there. And he's happy that other people are happy.
If I was on stage and somebody called me breathtaking, I would be happy to be there too.
And he's just like, hey guys, and he reads the line, and you're like, you don't know what you're saying.
And he's
like, but check out this cool shit.
He literally says, come on guys, I have to get through this. Like, what are you gonna fucking...
But it's super real.
It's
and
very
it's
real.
very genuine in its fakeness.
Yes, and we also know the moment he walked out on stage already, or we already knew he has a soul, because he's the same guy on the fucking metros, giving up his seat to women and old women and helping out people and just sitting in the park feeding the pigeons.
Like a real alpha.
He's great. He's great. So, yeah, Keanu Cyberpunk. That's good shit.
Yep.
Guess what? I remain excited for Cyberpunk 2077. Or as he says,
this makes
Cyberpunk. Yeah, he's
good
like,
shit.
Yeah, he was so overwhelmed and confused by the entirety of this show.
But he did a good job. And then they panned down to a really weird pit that had Xavier Woods in it, playing Gears of War later. That was weird.
There you go.
You remember that part?
I missed it.
Yeah, it was fucking goofy.
Well,
they kept Xavier Woods and AJ Styles and a third wrestler whose name I can't remember in a pit underneath the stage to play Gears of War. No, it was not.
Okay. Well, yeah, man, that was great, and we now have a date. It is March 16th.
April 16th.
April 16th,
week
2020.
Before my birthday.
2020.
Yep.
1 year. T-minus.
Did you know that April's gonna be fucking banging next year?
No delays.
That one's not gonna get delayed. The other one, probably gonna get delayed.
How likely you think it's gonna get delayed?
This? Nah.
What's their track record?
Terrible.
Yeah. So.
Like, one of the worst.
Who's lighting the fire behind them, forcing them to put it out?
The same guy who fired somebody for arguing with him over the original Witcher 3 controls being bad.
Okay, but ultimately, it's still it's them. It's them.
Yeah,
they're their own whip cracker.
Yeah,
you know. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, you super got me, by the way. I forgot. Yeah, their track record is awful.
Here's the other thing, though. If the other one gets pushed,
yeah,
like actual fires.
I'm planning like home economics around March and April of next year, and if that shit gets pushed, I'm gonna be in trouble.
Actual fires will be set. You know. But we'll get there. Project Scarlet, we talked about it. What we got?
Hey,
nothing much, but
it's a new console. It's really it's a revolutionary technology.
Xbox One Saturn.
Yeah, and they're basically doing remote play over Wi-Fi.
Like Xbox One S, all digital, deluxe, extreme revision.
Yeah, whatever. It's they announced it. Yeah, it's coming. They're gonna show the box and all that crap next year, I'm sure.
It's got 8K, 120 FPS.
Who cares? There was a really weird quote in there where one person said, we're seeing frame rates that no one's ever seen before. And then the next person is like, we're getting games up to 120 FPS. And I'm like, did you really edit those two clips right next to each other? Because it makes you sound really stupid. There are people listening to this podcast at home live, watching it on 144 hertz monitors.
What's the limit of the human eye again?
It gets confusing. 60's a nice, safe number. I'm not going to say you can't see anything over, but 60's nice and clean. You start to run into perceptual deficits for individual people, I think, around, like, 65 to 70.
Do you have any thoughts about Phantasy Star Online 2?
I do. It's fucking awesome that it's coming out. I can't believe it's coming out for the Xbox only, it seems. Like, is there no PC release? And also, the last time that I talked to a human being that would know anything about this, Sony was trying to fucking get it over there, like Vita or otherwise.
Was the Japanese version on...
Japanese version was on the Vita.
Was it only?
It was also on the PC, and I don't remember if it was... It was probably on the PS4 as well.
Okay.
Right?
Well, that got announced, as did, what do we got here? Yeah, the new Battletoads.
I don't think that looks very good.
Did they show it?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck, I didn't...
Click the link and you'll be like,
Hold on a second, because I actually didn't see the new Battletoads, and I was hoping...
Maybe I'm too jaded, but I just felt...
I've been waiting to hear a word back about this
Something
one,
about
actually.
it. Something about it just didn't...
Alright, there's the beat.
Oh,
there's the logo.
While we were doing this, I should mention something about Phantasy Star Online 2.
They're back.
Which is really fucked up, actually. It's not coming out in Europe.
There's Rash.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, it's not coming out in Europe.
It's coming out in English, but not for anyone in Europe.
This is cool. I like this. This is fine.
I don't like the art style.
You don't like the art style? I think that it's very Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. 3-player couch co-op.
Yeah. Don't want to invent a new Toad because there's the 3 classic guys.
Give me a dev name.
I don't know who made it. I didn't recognize the dev.
Porkshank. Let's see if we can find... Yeah, I like this Battletoads look. This is fine. This is great. I mean, I was either expecting... Or I was hoping for either something like this or Sonic Mania.
Okay.
Rare and Dula Studios? Hold on a second.
That's probably the real devs.
D-La-La Studios.
They're probably new.
Okay. I'm totally okay with those visuals. I guess it just remains to be seen how the gameplay stacks up as far as a beat 'em up goes.
Yeah.
So now we got Streets of Rage 4 happening.
I feel like we're in the point where everything is happening. Everything that's old is new again.
Yeah.
But with movies, it makes you want to like eat poison. Here, it's like, oh hey, new games can often be fun.
Yeah. This is some of the most like, I've done that thing where you see a new version of something that you are of an old character design,
yeah,
and you're like thinking about the changes.
Yeah,
like I've done that more recently.
There's been a lot of that going on the past couple days.
I've done that more recently than I've ever have in my life, I think. So that's there. Yeah, they talked about the Outer Worlds, Bleeding Edge. I like the Outer Worlds box. The box for the Outer Worlds looks great.
Outer Worlds is coming out of Xbox. Fairly unshocking. Looks good.
I feel like that box reminds me of a Choose Your Own Adventure book cover, and that was cool.
So I had a weird moment when the Cyberpunk box got revealed.
Yeah.
Where a friend of mine was like, "Oh my god, that box is awful," and started the very typical complaints. It's got a dude looking down to the side with a gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know what boxes are anymore, man. I haven't looked at a game box.
Yeah.
That, like...
The Cyberpunk box, I really wish... Yeah, I wish they were... Like, I like the color.
The color's great.
I like the color. I like the logo. But dude man gun...
Looking...
Pretty
head
typical.
Down, eyes up.
So it's like... You tried to... You're still doing a little bit of boring on top of your...
Go back and check
fun.
out the box art for Witcher 3, and
Yeah.
it's one of the worst.
Yeah. It's a combination of the boring safe with the fun...
Yeah.
Like strong style, and I kind of wish they leaned a bit more into it, even though they have to.
Yeah, they have to.
To some point,
you gotta
show your big soldier man.
Yeah.
Even though he's kind of a rat.
Who cares? He'll be as much of a rat as you desire.
As you want him to be. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You
Marketing.
noble rat. You a scummy rat.
Would it be like Jonovic marketing? Or whatever, you know, over at CD Projekt is the one in charge, or whatever the proper name.
What's
Dimitrios Marketing?
Oh man,
you know?
I don't know any Polish like first names off the top of my head.
I just picked a Greek one, so that was how off I was. Anyway,
isn't Greece in Poland?
I'm making a head gesture.
Isn't Poland like circling Greece?
The same country.
Yeah.
Same history.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the map.
I just looked down to the chat and saw like 10 people in a row just all caps shut up. That makes me... that's my favorite feeling in the world. Oh, you got me, guys. You got me.
So...
You got me.
We saw the first gameplay trailer of Psychonauts 2.
Looks just like Psychonauts 1. It looks visually fantastic. And
well, it looks better than Psychonauts 1.
Like, thematically, like, visually fantastic, thematically interesting, totally inventive. And then they show Raz jumping around for like 2 seconds, and you're like, oh, right. That's why I don't really like Psychonauts. Because I don't enjoy running around and moving in Psychonauts. So I guess they're totally nailing it for people who care about that series.
I imagine that the more obfuscated parts of the game would be simplified going forward, because, yeah, it's still a Double Fine game at the end of the day.
Yeah. Which is now owned by Microsoft. Yeah.
Exclusive, huh?
I don't think it's exclusive, actually, because it was a Fig game. But... Or maybe it's definitely not exclusive to just the Xbox. The PC's getting it as well.
Are you allowed to do that? To crowdfund a thing and then buy it and make it exclusive later?
I don't know. We'll have some more to talk about that. And you know what? Why not? Where would we even put it other than right here?
Where? I don't know.
Right. Hey, Shenmue developers. Go fuck your own asses with this refund shit. This is outrageous.
This is a new world of like, what are you held to when the money comes in, and then if a back deal happens?
So I wanna talk about this. A little while ago on my stream, I made a point that I'm not a legal scholar, but what I do know is that the TOS that you sign when you load up your copy of Adobe, or you load up your copy of Paint, or your video game, is not legally binding in court. You can't just sign away consumer rights with a button that needs to be pressed when you buy it. However, and let's back up, Shenmue, the video game that was kickstarted, and even sent out backer reward forms asking you if you wanted it on Steam or a console of your choice, has now been money-hatted to be an Epic Store exclusive. And the big deal is that they are no longer offering refunds for people going, hey, I totally wanted to buy this on Steam. Give me my money back. And they're going, nah.
Epic is really not
Making
helping.
an art form out of it.
They're not doing themselves
Right.
any favors
So-
with this store and the aggressiveness.
The
with
question
which
then
they
becomes,
want people to handle its garbage.
what legal backing is there on this? Because people are getting really pissed, and there's probably going to be a class action lawsuit, backing or not. And the answer is, well, in the Kickstarter terms of service,
Yes,
Kickstarter says
the project can change.
no. It says you got to give what you promised or give people their money back. Now, 9 times out of 10, when you can't give people what you promised, there's no fucking money to give back because you ran out of money, right? And then people occasionally resort to going, well, just give us the build, right? Or something like that. This is a situation in which not only do you know they have the money, they're just telling you they don't want to give it to you. And while a TOS may not be legally binding to you purchasing a product, it probably does have a significant more amount of weight when you are signing up to a service specifically designed to give you money, and the service's foot coming down is, yes, you do have to provide what you promised. That's why Kickstarter, after Mighty Number 9 and a bunch of those, they were like, you have to show a prototype. There can't just be concept art and a speech. There has to be a working fucking thing so that even if it crashes and burns in a year, you can at least provide that very first pitch thing. Right? This is going to have a lawsuit for sure, and I hope they lose it.
I'm going to talk out of my ass here because I don't know if examples exist that go contrary to what my impression is. But I'm under the impression that this would not be possible if it were a brand new IP that were like not based on something that was already big in AAA.
Yeah.
Like, I think expectations of big AAA things being exclusive in places and having these types of like release arrangements is like what allows this to kind of happen. Whereas if this were like the first time if this were a brand new IP and they're like, we're making this and putting it out there and we're putting it out on all the platforms that you people want to see it on because we're doing it based on your money, like, they would never get away with being like, suddenly we're exclusive to a platform that you don't want to use.
Also, like, you look at when this has happened before with Mighty Number 9 and not Castlevania, Bloodstained, right? They hit a point where they go, guys, we're not putting that out on
3DS version ain't happening.
Right? And there's 2 ways you can handle it.
You
can Mighty Number 9 it and go, it's totally coming out, guys, and then just disappear into the sand. Or you can Bloodstained it and just give people their money back or offer a different SKU.
Right. Now, do you do it based on people who selected that as their platform?
You should, yeah.
Because that's the most genuine way to prove that that's what they were interested in. Yeah.
It's like, hey, the platform you chose in the survey, it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
And if you didn't choose it, you're like, well, we didn't know that you could just be asking for a refund now anyway.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but like, yeah, fine. No one's gonna get everybody super pissed.
If the survey had 0 people that selected 3DS,
yeah,
then could they just say we're canceling that version of the game?
Now that's obviously not gonna
no,
work, but
it could go both ways.
They could literally go, listen, there's fucking 35 people who chose the 3DS version.
It could go both ways.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is wild because this means that people paid in specific, like, this happens often with Kickstarters. You pay in for a version and then the version gets canceled. You have to give the money back. You have to. And
the shape of the landscape of the game industry changes in development here, and now we're in the realm of Epic Game Store aggressively doing everything it can to like flop around like a fish and not dry out.
The best part about this is there was a way to totally dodge it, and the way to dodge it is really simple. In the original Kickstarter pitch, you go, it's going to be coming to this console, this console, this console, and PC. Right?
Yeah.
But before the Epic Game Store, nobody did that. You know what they did? Become an Xbox, become a PlayStation, and Steam. And then they send out backer codes. Sorry, not codes, but backer surveys that go, usually, do you want it on GOG or Steam?
Yeah.
On PC.
Yeah.
And people choose Steam. In fact, I chose Steam on this.
Yeah.
And that was day one that they had that option open. This is some kind of fraud.
If they did just write PC, people would just assume Steam.
Yeah.
And then,
but then they go, we had say.
Is that actually better?
Yes. Absolutely. Because then
you have plausible deniability.
Then you would have plausible deniability, and people will go, well, if I see a Kickstarter that just says PC, and I really don't want to buy it on the Epic Store, I won't do it until they clarify Steam or whatever, right?
Yep. Coming to DOS.
The fact they don't like the fact they take a deal with Epic, yeah, Epic's offering them $1 billion. Fine, take the deal. Like, I get it.
Then just pay for the whole game.
If I was, well, here's the thing. Apparently, I have seen multiple talks about from little birdies. The amount of money that you're getting offered.
I've heard the same.
The amount of money that you get offered for this deal is so much, especially for the Kickstarter games. You could refund everyone, ever, and still have money to pay your staff and ship the game and then profit off of it.
Also, the amount of money that Shenmue asked for, I hear whispers, is not the actual amount of money.
Of course that they need, of course not.
And if you assume that it's a Shenmue game of the same size and length and girth in 2019, with at least the way they have this demo looking, if not better,
but here's
it
the
can't
thing.
possibly cost a couple $1 million.
Here's the really important thing. If the deal is so lucrative that you just have to take it, you have the money to give people their refunds. Just flat out.
So then the campaign that they started, which was already not enough money because it was really just like a publicity campaign.
Yeah, it was a publicity campaign to get a publisher.
Now locks them to the ethics of a campaign.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though
the campaign wasn't real.
It wasn't real.
Yeah, guess what? I paid into that, so I don't care what it was really for.
Seems like a really stupid idea in retrospect.
So there's a couple things that are going to happen. One, I would advise, check with somebody smarter than me on the mechanics of this, but you can always charge back your credit card. Nothing they can do about that. Second thing is that, and this is the part, so there are people that kicked in a lot of money to this, and they have every right to be really outraged that they got hoodwinked. Even if they actually wanted it on the Epic Store, the fact that there's a dishonesty here with the money makes you feel bad, right? Say you kicked in a couple $1,000s, yeah, be outraged, be furious, right? But for me, I kicked in just enough to get the game when it came out, so that part isn't angering me.
We're past that time.
What really
for the chargeback?
Oh, we are? Lawsuit. Somebody's gonna file a lawsuit. Everybody, sign your name. I'll sign my fucking name to that thing, even as a foreign citizen. It'll probably be in the U.S. And Kickstarter will likely help out, actually, because this is bad for Kickstarter. And that's what makes me pissed off. There are games that are going to fail their fucking pitches because of shit like this.
They could have literally walked out on stage with Shenmue 3 and announced a change.org campaign.
Yeah.
To get signatures for interested people.
And then they could have brought that to a publisher and blah, 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 blah.
Because effectively the money wasn't for anything. It really was just, it was not, like, for no reason, you put yourself under these extra constraints. And you kind of fucked over Shenmue.
This is so fucking
That's
gross.
really, really silly that you did that way, that they did it that way. Yeah. And maybe there was a world where this would have pioneered the half published, half kickstarted development cycle.
We've already been in that world for a while.
Yes, games have gotten picked up after the Kickstarter successfully gets greenlit.
A lot.
Most of the time, in fact, actually.
And it was working fine.
Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
I guess that's it then. Fair enough.
They're making a real fucking... Oh my god, dude, Stadia was this... Wait, was that last week?
But what... doesn't that usually just consist of like... well, okay. No, there's two things. There's the publisher kicking in after the successful campaign, and then there's the publisher jumping in for the ports that you were not handling.
Which makes sense.
Right. But yeah, okay.
Did we talk about Stadia last week?
No, but Stadia came out this week.
Okay, a terabyte for 60 hours a month, fuckers. Enjoy your data caps, plebs.
I mean, just like
holy shit.
We can, they can.
Holy motherfucking shit.
Like, any information about Stadia that is not just an updated picture of the stick and then panning over to the game and seeing what the time difference is doesn't matter. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
The presentation should consist of someone holding a controller up, touching the stick, and then watching what happens in the background.
How long does it take?
And that's literally all you need to do.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to do that.
And if it's good, then you drop the controller and walk away.
Well, fun thing that you mentioned that, because Microsoft talked about how they are going to have their own Stadia called xCloud, and it's going to run off the Scarlet. Yeah. And it's basically literally Stadia, but instead of the servers being a Google town, it's your own Scarlet at home.
Wait, I was saying Stadia up until you just started saying Stadia.
Whatever, who cares?
Yeah, I just realized that
it's going to be gone in a year, and all your games are going to disappear.
Anyway,
you want to go check out that Google spreadsheet of all the products Google killed like a year after they came out? It's like 35 fucking things in that thing.
Actually, I want to mention that the Elite Controller 2 is coming. And
I'll get one of those. Those things are nice.
Except for the part where they fucking degrade when exposed to air.
Yeah, well.
That was really sucky.
Yeah, well.
I'm really annoyed that my Elite controller stays inside of its zipped casing, because the moment air touches it, the rubber gets all filmy and weird.
Yeah, I figured out a solution to that.
What's that?
Compulsively rub it down with baby wipes.
Okay, or you can get one of the newer, cheaper controllers with a better texture on them, where that doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're right. But, I mean, you also have to rub those down with baby wipes anyway. We're in different planets here.
Look,
don't even.
Okay, either way, the fucking parts of the Elite fall off easily after a while.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I haven't had that experience.
They fucking just fall off. So, the Elite, not so Elite. Series 2, maybe it'll fix those problems.
The real problem I have is I'm afraid the bumpers are going to break, which is a known design issue with the version 1s.
I'm still dealing with the stick fucking falling off itself.
Oh,
right?
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It feels great when it comes out of the box. Feels like a steering wheel in your hand. It's got a good weight and heft to it.
Yep.
Give it 4 weeks.
Yeah, that'll feel like your greasy dick. But you got to clean with baby wipes.
Yeah, you do. Xbox Game Pass, whatever.
That's cool. They're bringing that to the PC. I don't know how they're going to do it or through what service. Probably Microsoft Store. Hopefully it doesn't break, but we'll see.
Microsoft.
Could be really cool.
Microsoft.
Yeah. Well, there was also the xCloud. That's actually fairly important. It's their Stadia-style service shit that will fucking blow out dank streams to any device via your at-home console. It's basically remote play from far away.
Mm-hmm. And will it also do the fucking phone thing too?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, I think they were showing that off. God, who was it? No, it wasn't that. No. Yeah, Skill Up was playing around with it and was like, "Hey, it works actually pretty bad." Played Halo Infinite on a phone.
Xbox on a phone. Microsoft Project xCloud.
Yeah, he said there was noticeable latency.
Okay.
But otherwise, it was really impressive. And I'm like, Skill Up, you're Australian. How the fuck you think this is gonna work with Australian internet?
What is the controller connecting to?
There's a controller plugged into a phone, and it's like,
so it's a new controller that is connected directly to the service.
Controller that
Got it.
you plug
Okay.
in.
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah, it basically turns like a Xbox controller into like a portable.
Okay. And that same controller would, in theory, plug into any other screen.
Yeah. Project xCloud. There's a real obvious push towards streaming, streaming shit.
Which makes, here's the thing, like this, like it's a good idea to like make the hardware side of things cheaper for people.
Mm-hmm.
However, it also requires good internet,
which can be very expensive and prohibitive, and also. Like, you look at the broadband adoption rate in various first world countries. Canada's like 17, US is like 11th or something like that. they're not good enough for this. The nations aren't good enough for this.
So it's interesting, but it's definitely taking the KI is on the go. There you go.
Well, yeah.
It's taking the load of the taking the fucking the weight of the fucking how expensive this is and just placing it elsewhere. You know?
Yeah, you're just
redistributing
moving it from
the
a console to monthly internet costs.
You're redistributing
which
the
will
costs.
Totally cost more in the long run unless you already have expensive internet.
It's a tricky fucking sitch.
And then you have the issue of like, well, what if the node in between your workplace and your house, like, you know, because that's where it just sucks ass and is the laggiest piece of shit ever because it's part of your infrastructure that you can't control.
Now, if you happen to be somewhere where you can just steal internet,
I mean, yeah, that's cool.
then you're golden, I suppose.
You know, internet's in the air. You can taste it. You can taste the internet.
If you decide to go play games at your McDonald's,
Yeah.
then you're good. But I don't know how good your fucking ranked matches of KI are gonna go.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, okay, sure. xCloud, got it. Is that coming out before Stadia? Are they gonna beat them to the punch?
No, that's a Scarlet thing. It sounded like.
Oh, but that could basically be its own platform.
Yeah.
So how does that actually tie in with the console they want to sell you?
There's a lot of vagaries.
Because
a lot of power of the cloud talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, again, like, the idea of, you know, I mean, there was the PSP and Vita remote play thing, which I've actually used and tested on, and, like, we had it in this house doing things and whatever. And then that got, you know, went further and further and further. Then, yes, now you have Stadia. This thing doesn't have to actually be tied in with a Scarlet console.
You're right,
like,
it doesn't.
So,
Yeah, well.
all right. So that's Microsoft.
Yep.
Cool.
Microsoft in the bag.